up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I am going through my entire 2-round mock draft. So I did an entire two-round mock draft for every single team, and this is my realistic, I guess, mock draft 1.0. I know the last one was kind of weird, and y'all were probably like, yeah, I don't see any of that happening, and that's okay. You know, that was really more one for fun, not the Lions one, but I'm talking about the 1.0 I had. So that was more for fun. But this one's supposed to be my realistic one, kind of a prediction of what I think will happen, maybe not necessarily what I want to happen. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Now, I may break this into two parts. I may just do first round in this video because it could be super long. I don't know. I'm still talking. I don't know if you can see me. I don't know if you're looking at just the screen. I don't know what y'all are seeing right now. I see me, but I don't know what y'all see. Get it? No, that's not a joke. I don't know what. All right, let's just get into the video. So here we go. We have the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I already made all these picks. I have them all wrote down. But the reason I'm showing you like this is that way I can show you on the screen. It's just a lot easier that way because otherwise I can't show you. And then it's just weird. You're just looking at me talk. And then I have to throw in 50 pictures. And it's like, come on, man. I'd rather just see him. Okay, come on. Let's get into it. So the first guy is going to, oh my gosh. So the first player I have is Joe Burrow going to the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this is kind of an obvious one unless you're doing my last mock draft where apparently they took Jedrek Wills, which I have no idea why they did that, but that's what they did. But we're taking Joe Burrow because this is a realistic one, and it says make the selection. Hopefully I'm picking that. Yeah, so Joe Burrow is the selection for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this is an obvious one. Andy Dalton, I have no idea what his future looks like, but I do know that the Bengals, in their future, they want to see a quarterback. And after watching Joe Burrow's season, breaking records, the accuracy is something to be seen. Oh my goodness. This guy is, I really don't think he has bust potential. I don't. I think he's at worst going to be an average quarterback. He looks like a heck of a player. He's got to be the first pick, so there he goes. Now, next up we have the Washington Redskins. And as you guys can see, offensive tackle, offensive line, maybe their biggest need. But dang it, man, you got Chase Young there. And yes, I would love for him to fall to the Lions, but I don't see the Redskins passing on him, and I honestly can't blame them. They're going to take Chase Young in my realistic mock draft. At least, maybe it's not realistic because you don't know. My last one could be more realistic. That wild stuff can happen, but this one is one that I believe will happen, okay? That's the whole point. Now, next up, we have the Detroit Lions. Now, we can't really trade back in this, and I didn't do any trade backs. Now, initially, I had the Lions selecting Jeffrey Okudah with the hiring of their new defensive coordinator in Corey Udlin. I got to think about his name. The secondary coach that used to be with Philadelphia. I was really thinking that Jeff Okudah was going to be that name. You know, I think he was thrown out there and he made a little bit of sense. I liked him. I'm not going to say I didn't like him. He wasn't my favorite prospect. There was a couple others that I liked more. So I really did think that that's who they were going to select. And then when they hired Corey, I was like, yeah, they're going to take a Jeff Okudah. But then I was thinking about it to myself. I almost wanted to just speak this into existence. Come on, y'all. We got to take Isaiah Simmons. I really don't think we can pass. Now, is trading back to take Isaiah Simmons an okay move? Absolutely. If that's the case, that's even better. But since we can't trade back, we're not going to be doing that. And I don't think the Lions can really pass up. Okay, there's options here. I think Okudah makes a lot of sense. I think Derek Brown makes a lot of sense. Honestly, Tua's still there. So again, if you want to trade back, maybe you get the Dolphins to say, let's trade up, and you can trade with them, and then they move up to 3, then you can drop back, and possibly then you still have a lot of options. Look, I'm not against trading back. The reason there's no trading back is because I can't trade back on this, and it's just a complete mess when I do so. So I would down for trading back. Don't take that the wrong way, and I think there's options here. The reason that I'd be down for trading back is because I'm okay with Derek Brown. I'm okay with Okudah. Honestly, I guess I'm okay with Tua if you go back, and I'm really okay with this man that we are going to be selecting in my draft here. Now, yes, he's kind of far on here, but I think after that last game, we kind of saw what he's about. I knew what he was about. He showed even more of it. Dude, this is that dude. We need linebacker help. We need coverage help. He can play safety, linebacker. I'm going to be honest, this is the guy I want to see them really take, and if they can trade back and do it, that's just even better. Now, next up, we have the New York Giants. I can remember the last time I took AJ Epinesa, and we were like, wow, you really reached for that one. And I knew they needed an edge. That's why I went with it there. But in this mock draft, I actually went with the Giants, and they are going to be taking Jeffrey Okudah here. So what I believe with the Giants is that if they, you know, if the Lions pass on Simmons and say they don't trade back, say the Lions take, or maybe they do trade back, but say they don't trade back, maybe they take someone that's that's not Simmons. Maybe they take someone else. I don't know. They could take Okudah. They have a lot of options. But I think the Giants are really just kind of waiting to see what they're left with after the Lions pick. So, for example, if the Lions don't take Simmons, I think Simmons is going to be their guy. They need a linebacker. They need some edge help. I think Simmons is their guy, and he fits perfectly from what I've been hearing from New York. But I do believe that the Lions should take him first. And what that leaves the Giants with is the opportunity to take probably the best corner without a doubt in the draft, and that's Jeff Okudah. I don't think you pass there. And in this case, Tua Tagovailoa, that's an easy one for me. They need a quarterback, and they're going to get one here in Tua. Now, let's hop into number 6, where we have the Chargers. And they have a lot of options here. As you can tell, still tons of options. They need a quarterback, right? Phillip Rivers, no idea what his future looks like. He's aging. They're definitely looking for a quarterback. But did they get one in the first round? Not in my realistic mock draft. Now, that doesn't mean they never get one, but I don't think they get it in the first round. Actually, instead, I think they help out with the best offensive lineman that's probably going to be in the draft. They get the offensive tackle, which they need, and that is Andrew Thomas out of Georgia. I think that's a smart pick. You have to bolster that trenches, man. The trenches is what it comes down to, and I think that's what they do here. Now, next up, we have the Panthers, and this man is just still available. And again, I would love to have Derek Brown as well. I think he fits really well. This guy's consistent. He could be the next suit. I don't know. But seriously, no, Derek Brown is going to be a beast, and I think the Panthers are getting a stud here at number 7. Now let's hop at number 8, where we have the Arizona Cardinals. And at number 8 with the Cardinals, Cardinals need an offensive tackle. That's their biggest need, and there's a man sitting right there. My mouse is already on it. That's Jedrek Wills. Now Jedrek Wills, I think he's the second highest. I would say he's probably the second guy that people are expecting to go with the offensive tackle position. He could go where Andrew Thomas is going. Wouldn't surprise me. But I'm going to go with Wills because he is left. Next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, they need a wide receiver, and Jerry Jeudy looks like the best wide receiver in the draft to me by far. CeeDee Lamb is a heck of a player, don't get me wrong. I just feel like you got to take the best, and that is Jerry Jeudy. I don't think you can pass on that, and I don't think this is a guy that, again, has that much bust potential. I mean, everybody, I guess, does, but he just looks like a guy that's ready to go, and Jerry Jeudy is going to be their next wide receiver in this mock draft. Now, next up, we have the Cleveland Browns. You can see offensive tackles are their big need. So, offensive tackles, they're very lucky because we're going to have 3 of those guys go in the first 10, and this time it's Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa. So, Wirfs, one of the top offensive linemen once again. You can see, look at all the offensive tackles. We have had 3 offensive tackles go within the top 10. That's super impressive. So, good for them, right? Good for them to get out there, and the Browns are able to get themselves an offensive tackle, which I think a lot of people were expecting to happen. Now, next up, we have the Jets, and last time, like I said, I reached, and I had the Giants go get Epinesa, but now we have the Jets who need an edge, and they don't have to reach as far. They are able to get AJ right there at number 11, and I think it's a heck of a pick. I think Epinesa is a really good player, especially out of the top 10. I think you're getting a really good pick outside the top 10. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes inside the top 10. I don't know why I keep saying top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if he went really high. To fall outside of the barrier of 10 and out, I'm trying to say it differently. AJ Epinesa is that dude. Consistent player with Iowa. I liked what I seen. He's overall just a really good player, and he comes in number 11. So now let's hop into number 12, where we have the Raiders selecting, and the Raiders have a lot of needs as well. Wide receiver being the biggest, and I think if there's one quiet player they are looking at that's similar, that's maybe not similar play style, but heck of a wide receiver, that is CeeDee Lamb, and he could potentially be argued that he may be better than Jerry Jeudy, and I think the Raiders have to go get their mans here. Now, this quarterback up there, maybe quarterback's potential for them, but CeeDee Lamb's sitting there, and you're at number 12. You got to take the generational talents when you can get them, and that could be CeeDee Lamb. So now we're going to hop into number 13, and you can see there's some really good players here. Grant Delpit's a little bit higher than I thought. But this one's interesting to me because this is the Colts, and the Colts, right now, you can see based on this website, their biggest need is wide receiver. But for me, I don't think the Colts wait. I think the Colts know where they are at quarterback. And when you have an opportunity to take one, you take it. And I'm not sure where our quarterback is here. Here he is over here. That's Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert goes here. I don't know what they're going to do. Andrew Luck, obviously, with the freak retirement. So I think Justin Herbert makes a lot of sense for the Indianapolis Colts. And now we hop into number 14. And at number 14, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers really do need some defensive line help. Not a very good defense. And Ndamukong Suh is going to be a free agent. We know a lot of things are going on there. And the best way to help out, missing a really talented player that's a veteran, is getting a young beast. And they have the opportunity to do that. Now, you could call this a stretch. Okay, you call this a reach. Okay, according to this website, it's a reach, but I don't think it is. I really don't think Javon Kinlaw is much of a reach. It's hard to get really stud defensive linemen, and you're going to find one right here. So now let's hop into number 15. We're almost halfway through, and this is the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos, they need a cornerback, they need a wide receiver, they need an offensive tackle, they need a linebacker. They need a lot of things. Let's just say it like that. And obviously, I don't think they're a really good team, even though they're picking at 15. So this is kind of a tough spot to pick. But I think they can get a lot of help defensively with the loss of Chris Harris that's going to come most likely in this offseason. I think he may be a Lion. I would not be surprised. He has some connections with the Lions. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if he ends up with the Lions. But to make up for what's probably going to be a loss there, they get maybe the best cornerback that is available, and that is Christian Fulton. He had a tough game in the championship, I'll tell you that. They definitely targeted him, but I still think he'll go in the first round without a doubt. I think the Broncos are going to take him. Now, hopping into 16, now we are halfway through, and this is the Atlanta Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons are back here, and as you guys can see, just like the website says, edge rusher is a big need. Defensively, they were pretty awful last season. Hey, offensively, they were killing it, right? But they couldn't do anything defensively. That was a complete letdown. It was such a letdown to see how they finished out the season and how their whole year went. But to help out, you have to focus on the defensive side of things. And edge rushers are never easy to come by. And even if you think you're reaching here on K'Lavon Chaisson, I think I'm saying that right. K'Lavon Chaisson. I think I'm saying that right, guys. Chaisson. I don't know. I'm close. I'm trying. I took notes. Okay, but he's gonna go right here to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is an easy one for me. We have the Dallas Cowboys. I don't need to waste my time. I don't like America's team. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, I'm actually not kidding. I don't like the Cowboys. But Grant Delpit is available, and they need a safety, so I think they're going to take one. They need secondary help, y'all. They need corners. They need safeties. They need everything, all of the above. And I think Grant Delpit being available here is, you could say, almost a steal. He's a heck of a player, man, and you're finding him at 17. You can't mess with that. Now, back are the Miami Dolphins. We know they have like 300 picks in this draft. They just took a quarterback in Tua, which is really helpful for them. We'll see if he's their future. So they're going to take Jordan Love. No, I'm just kidding. Haha, that would be something to see. But no, seriously, the Dolphins are going to take an edge rusher here. Now, there's a couple of options that are going to be available, but I think Yetur Gross-Matos, I'm trying, y'all. I think that's how you say it. I think he makes the most sense. Obviously, we saw Chaisson. I think it's Chaisson. Just go. So, I think Yetur here is the next best thing out of Penn State. Very reliable player. He has an awesome name, and why not? You got a lot of picks. They're going to pick a lot of these skill positions. I almost consider, unless you don't, I consider the edge a really skill position. I consider every position a skill position, because they all take skill. No, stop. These jokes are awful. Let's hop at number 18, where we have that's 19. Let's hop at number 19, where we have the Raiders. Now, the Raiders... Okay, the Raiders are up here, and now they just got a wide receiver. Okay, we know they got, I believe it was CeeDee Lamb, right? They got CeeDee Lamb, if I'm remembering. Yes, they did get CeeDee Lamb. So now they're looking on the other side of the ball because defense is something that's very important. Hopefully they can start winning with John Gruden. They were close, right? They were in the playoff hunt for a little bit. And here I think they get a guy that can help out, maybe make that final push. You're getting a cornerback here out of Alabama and Trayvon Diggs. We know all these SEC schools are putting out beast prospects, or you know what? Basically, consider Clemson an SEC school at this point. They're putting out some really good prospects, and I think Trayvon Diggs makes a lot of sense here for the Raiders. Now, hopping into number 20, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars back up on the clock, and the Jacksonville Jaguars had just got their wide receiver as well, and Jerry Jeudy, but this time they're looking on the other side of the ball just like the Raiders were, but instead they may be reaching, you could call it, but I don't think they are at all. Linebackers are not going to be easy to come by, and they're going to fly like that, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're going to be looking at Troy Dye and saying, wow, that's the best linebacker available. No hate to Troy Dye. I'm just saying it's going to go fast because there's not tons of options. But Kenneth Murray, you could look at him as one of the best linebackers coming out of this draft that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take here at 20, okay? Not a reach because you need him, and there's not a lot of depth there, I guess I would say, throughout this draft. I don't think there is. I think there is in the later rounds, early rounds, not a lot. So you take him there. Now let's hop at number 21, where we have the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Philadelphia Eagles have not had a pick yet. And they have a lot of... I'm sorry, I don't know what that was. The other computer started because I'm in... Stop! They got a lot of needs, okay? And they really can't go wrong here because they haven't had a pick yet. But I think they've got to take the best player available, man. Henry Ruggs is so dang fast. And T. Higgins, I think, also makes sense because they do need a guy that can go up and get it. But Henry Ruggs, the next D-Jack, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're trying to do here. Maybe they live in the past. I don't know. But Henry Ruggs is a beast. And yeah, they're going to do that. So Henry Ruggs will go, maybe, if it lets me. There he goes. Now the Buffalo Bills are up on the clock, and they're looking at this. They're saying, wow, they just took Henry Ruggs. What are we gonna do? I'll tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna take another great wide receiver in T. Higgins because you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with either one of these guys. Super talented wide receivers, and he comes in at number 22. Now, let's hop into the New England Patriots, America's team. No, seriously, not really. I don't think anybody likes the Patriots, at least where I'm from. All right, hop at number 23. This is a really cool one for me. I was excited to do this one because there's a lot of options here. No idea what Tom Brady's future looks like. I know a lot of people are speculating he goes somewhere else. I would be shocked. It'd be so weird to not see him with the Patriots. But the rumors are out there, and I think there's a possibility that's definitely true. And even if it's not true, even if he comes back, I still think this makes sense. He's available. You're going to take the best quarterback out there still, Jordan Love. Wow. New quarterback in New England. It's going to be a sad time. I know not a lot of people like Tom Brady, but I'm just saying it's going to be sad when he's gone. So now let's hop into number 24, and we have the Saints. Now, if there's one name that I try to practice a lot that I can't say, it's this man's name. Oh, my goodness, did I try. I tried. Now, Drew Brees' future looks in question, so I was looking at quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong. I was looking at Eason. I was looking at Hurts. But I was also looking at the man that comes in a little bit higher than these guys. And that is this dude. I tried, y'all. I tried to say this name. All right, Shenault Jr. We're just gonna leave it at that. One of the top wide receivers. Didn't go to a huge school. I mean, it's Division I, but it's not like, you know what I mean. Hey, where did he go to school? He went to Clemson, LSU, Alabama, Colorado. Like what? Hold up, that doesn't fit. But he's a beast wide receiver, y'all. I'm telling you. I can't say his name, but go watch his highlights. Really good wide receiver. He comes in at 24 now. Let's hop into 25, and we have the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings. But the Minnesota Vikings need an offensive lineman. They're finally on the board. They also need a cornerback, but as you guys can see, there's not tons of great cornerbacks. C.J. Henderson was an option, but I think they're going offensive line here. They love the trenches, which makes a lot of sense. They like to run the ball with Dalvin Cook. I completely understand why they would want to stack the trenches, and I think they're just going to add a little bit more help. So you're going to have to actually scroll down a little bit here, and you could say this is a reach. You could make that argument, but I don't think it is. You're taking, where is he at? Nick Harris, the offensive lineman out of Washington. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a reach, but you're getting an interior offensive lineman, which, again, they're not easy to come by, man. These dudes are going to start flying off. You can see who's going to be left. You can already see by the draft board what kind of players are going to be out there later on. Now, into 26, again, the Miami Dolphins. Okay, let's just call this Miami draft because they're on for the third time in the first round. And here at Miami, after taking two really good players, after getting two skill position, after getting a quarterback, they got an edge rusher. Now they're going to go into the trenches as well. They're going into the trenches, man. They ain't playing around, and they're going to take the offensive tackle that we passed on in Austin Jackson out of USC. It's a need for them, and look at that. They're filled out maybe their top three needs all in the first round. My goodness, how many draft picks do y'all have? We'll see if they all work out, though. That's the risky thing. They don't always work out. Now, Seattle is up next, and Seattle comes in here with tons of needs as well. And after watching Seattle, I looked at that and I said, wow, they might need another wide receiver to pair with, a DK Metcalf. But, that can wait. Maybe that can wait. Maybe they get a backup quarterback. Nope, that can wait as well. But what can't wait is an edge rusher. Seattle loves their defense. Pete Carroll loves his defense, and he's going to add a beast to the front seven. He's going to get a guy that can get a lot of pressure, play off the edge. Curtis Weaver, he can play in multiple defenses. In my eyes, I think it makes a lot of sense. And now we hop at number 28, where we have the Baltimore Ravens. And we're really getting down here, y'all. Baltimore Ravens. And let's see who I took for the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so the Baltimore Ravens, you can see their needs here. Baltimore Ravens finally up here. The Ravens are a heck of a team. Definitely didn't go as planned against Tennessee. I had no idea. I was not expecting that at all. But one thing I did notice when I watched that game, I feel like they could use a wide receiver. I think they can, okay? I think they could use some help. They obviously can run the football. They can play some D. But can they throw it? Well, adding a wide receiver will help out. It will. And there's still a heck of a player out here. I just got to find him. And that's Justin Jefferson out of LSU. He had a pretty nice game, on the final stretch of LSU season. Now we're hopping into 29, and this is the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Tennessee Titans have the edge need as well, and they were probably like, dang, Curtis Weaver just went. But there's another guy out there who is related to a guy on the Lions who unfortunately won't be a Lion because this team is going to take him, and that is Julian Okwara. Now, let me see if I can find Julian, and here he is, Julian Okwara out of Notre Dame. He goes 29. Now, hopping into 30, we're about done with this. We have the ugliest team on this list. Look at that logo. Come on, dog. That's disgusting. Anyways, with number 30, the Packers. I hate talking about the Packers, but there is a need, and I think that's wide receiver. I think they've held it up for a little bit, but apparently it doesn't matter because they're still winning games. They're going to take a wide receiver. They're going to help out. Maybe it's quarterback time. Is it Jacob Eason time? I don't know. Maybe they get a backup quarterback. I think it would make sense at some point. I don't even know who their backup is. I feel like I should know that. Watching the NFC North, I should know that. But I don't care enough, so I guess that's... Okay, but I do think they take a wide receiver to help out Aaron Rodgers for next season, and that is Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor is ridiculous, and I think he could go a lot earlier than this. I wouldn't be surprised. But he did fall, so the Packers are going to take him. Maybe you could say he reached. I don't think we reached there. I think he's worth that pick for sure. He's worth the first-round pick. Now, 31, Kansas City. Stop. Offensively, they are gifted. Defensively, they aren't so gifted. So, defense looks like a need here. But, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, Raekwon Davis, you go get cornerback. But then I'm saying, you know what? If you're great at something, why don't you just become greater at that thing? And then no one can stop you. They'll get defense. Trust me, they'll get defense. But I think they're taking the best running back in the draft. They're going to take Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but that kind of stuff happens. You would think, you're good at that. Let's worry about something else. No. They're just going to make it even better. So there you go. They just had this stud running back who I think is best in the draft. Yeah, it's a little unfair. Now, to end up the first round and end this video, before we get into part 2, we have, let's see if I can stop this 20. We're going to be a little over. We have the 49ers. Now, San Francisco is in need of a lot of things defensively. The secondary needs some help. And I think with McKinney, who a lot of people don't think he's actually going to last as far as still on the board, I think you have to take him. And that wraps up the first round with some of the talent next round looking like DeAndre Swift, Jacob Eason, Jalen Hurts, 2 really good quarterbacks, interesting quarterbacks out there, I guess I should say. Maybe not really good, maybe interesting. J.K. Dobbins, the beast out of Ohio State. C.J. Henderson is still a really good cornerback. Jake Fromm, who will get Jake Fromm, the next Stafford? Probably not. Draquan Davis out of Alabama, and Terrell Lewis. Wow, look at all those Alabama teams. So there you go. That is round 1 of your realistic mock draft. If you disagree with me, that is okay. Let me know in the comments below who you think should go where. And if you guys want to see round number 2, let me know in the comments below. It'll go right off of this one. So thank you for watching, and I'm out.